If you don't mind, I might just run by your office and grab it this week if you're good. Okay. That's
I would ask,
Let me ask Chief.
Because
well,
it's online
not
right now.
through your mic,
Yeah, it's online right now.
yeah, because it's live.
Yeah. Yeah. Later. He heard Chief and he's like, got questions?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, later. Later.
Please call the city council meeting for Monday, June 9th to order. Start with the roll call, please.
Atkins,
Here.
Evans,
Here. Here.
Mitchell,
Here,
Mizell,
Here.
Muchler,
Here.
Wall, Jordan,
Here.
Garner, Mayor Carr.
Here. So we have a forum tonight. We'll start off with an invocation given by Don Anderson, Emergency Services Chaplain, followed by our pledge of allegiance. Please stand.
Let's bow our heads. Kind and gracious Heavenly Father, as we come to you tonight, thanking you so much for your many blessings. Thank you for this beautiful day that you've given to our community. And Lord, today we just ask that you just be with this meeting tonight. Lord, with all the things on the agenda, that you would just touch the hearts and minds of those who are lead this community. Lord, just continue to bless them and give them courage and wisdom and discernment. And Father, for those that are serving in our community, working for the city, Lord, I just pray that you watch over and protect them. For our first responders, Lord, I just pray that you just be with them and watch over and protect them and keep them safe. And Lord, right now for those families that are grieving from tragedies in our community, and for the police department as they continue to work on that and investigate, Lord, give them wisdom, but Lord, also give comfort to those who are hurting tonight in our town. Lord, we ask your blessing upon this meeting tonight. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For public comments here, Glenn Gonzalez, is that right? Gonzalez, okay.
It's close enough. I've been called all kinds of things, so. Mr. Mayor, council members, thank you for this opportunity to address you again. Tonight, my data is from the Government Finance Officers Association, the United States Census Bureau, and the United States Department of Health and Human Services, and local food banks. In the proposed FY 2026 budget, there is a recommendation to increase the electric fund rate by 7.1%, the wastewater fund rate by 10.8%, and the water fund rate by 8.7%. For reserve funds, the Government Finance Officers Association recommends 2 months of budgeted expenditures, or just under 17% for the general fund. Per the U.S. Census Bureau, from 2022 to 2023, the median household income for Lebanon declined from $45,634 to $42,157, a decline of 7.6%. The poverty rate here in Lebanon is 20.5%. Per the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the poverty level of a family for four is a gross income of $32,150 and $26,650 for a family of three. I believe increasing utility rates will lead to an increase in requests for assistance from our local food pantries. These local food pantries provide sustenance to over 1,800 families per month. Almost all of these families receive assistance twice a month. With over 20% of your constituents living in poverty and the median household income following, each of you must ask yourself, is it prudent to increase utility rates? Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank-
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
all that we had for public comments there. And we'll move on to the consent agenda, and I'll now entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. So moved. Second. Jordan moved, Wall seconded. Roll call, please.
Atkins,
Yes.
Evans.
Yes.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Mizell.
Yes.
Meitzler,
Yes.
Wall,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
Garner.
Okay, consent agenda is approved. Pardon me. I'll now entertain a motion to enter in public hearing regarding several different things. I'm not gonna read them all.
I'll make a motion that we enter into public hearing.
Second.
Mitchell moved and Atkins seconded. Roll call, please.
Evans,
Yes.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Mizell,
Yes.
Mutchler,
Yes.
Wall,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
Garner, Atkins.
Yes.
Okay, we're now in public hearing, and we'll start off with the Southdale Center Community Improvement District.
All right. Good evening, council members and mayor. Always a pleasure to see you guys. So the Southdale Center Community Improvement District, of course, has had a lot of success in recent years. Looking at a potential request, a petition is being brought before everyone. I didn't know if we want to jump into that part now, or if we do that during the ordinance, or is this for combination too? Okay, so I do have, joining us via Zoom technology is Robert Preston with Spencer Fain, the law firm representing Curtis Jarrett and Jarrett Enterprises on this particular matter. So, Rob, can you hear us?
Loud and clear, thank
All right,
you.
very good. Technology is our best friend when it works, our worst enemy when it doesn't. So, but Rob, you want to jump in? I'll let you kind of go in, and then we'll just add comments and see what kind of public feedback we have at this portion.
You bet. Thanks everyone for the opportunity to be here this evening. As was noted, my name is Rob Preston of the law offices of Spencer Fain. Have the privilege of representing Curtis Jarrett and Jarrett Enterprises in connection with this project. This is the existing Southdale Shopping Center. It's located there in the community and has had some nice success over the years. It looks great, but there's room for growth, and this petition signals that the developer is ready to get started. Mr. Jarrett is on the line and can speak to the more details about the specifics of the plans for the development if you're interested, but I'll try to stick more to the legal matters pertaining to the Community Improvement District. I'm going to step back at sort of a 30,000-foot view about what community improvement districts are, and then zoom in on the history of this one and then what we're seeking to do here. So a community improvement district, it's a special taxing district authorized by the state of Missouri, Missouri law, to provide funding to for certain improvements, generally public improvements. In this particular case, this community improvement district was formed about 11 years ago and has been plugging along. The original petition contemplated an outlay of about $3 million or so dollars, and some of those dollars have been spent. And as the district, it's funded through a 1% sales tax on retail sales made within the footprint of the district. As revenues are generated from that sales tax, the district is reimbursing the developer for costs advanced by the developer to provide the community benefit, remediate blight, etc. In order to fund some additional work that is contemplated at the site, the adjacent property owner, which is currently occupied by an Ashley Furniture, desires to enter into the district. So a portion of this petition is, maybe the main reason of doing this petition is to annex that additional land into the footprint of the district in order to add that parcel to this taxing mechanism. So in addition, with that new entity, or with that new land coming into the district and the associated revenues, the developer is looking to do some additional work with an estimated cost of about $1.8 million. And again, Curtis Jarrett, who's on the line, can provide a little more insight into that, but it generally pertains to parking field repair, demolition, site work, and infrastructure that is necessary for build out of additional retail uses there at that site. The way that the CID works, it was originally for 20 years and it's been in effect for about 11 at this point. A district runs for a stated period of time, or the earlier of such time as the district reimburses all of its reimbursable expenses. In this particular case, based on some revenue projections generated by a third-party economic development consultant, with the addition of that new land, we think that that this district is likely to pay off, reimburse the developer for the costs, the infrastructure costs that they advance, in about 2042. In which case the CID would go away, but that is outside the original 20-year term of this district. So we are also seeking an extension of the district. Missouri law provides for a maximum of a 27-year extension. Our petition contemplates a 27-year extension from today, but again, that the district would dissolve and the sales tax would go away at such time as all of the approved costs were paid off. So we're asking for more time than we think we need, but just to be safe. If there was a unanticipated disruption in the sales tax, didn't want to have to come back to this board and waste your valuable time with an extension request. That's a quick rundown of what's in our petition. Happy to field any questions that you may have or get into additional details about either this district or some of the work that they hope to fund.
Did you say that Mr. Jared was here and does he want to make a comment?
He's on the Zoom, I believe. Oh, there he is.
Does he want to make a comment?
I'm pretty much here just to answer any questions, but to kind of piggyback off of what Rob just told you, one of the interesting things that really came to light over the last, I'd say, 6 to 9 months when Big Lots was in their bankruptcy proceedings, we had a lot of different retailers reach out with backup offers, say, hey, we'd like to backfill that space. But we told them we couldn't do anything until we got through the bankruptcy proceedings. And inevitably, Ollie's was one of the backup offers, but they bought it out of bankruptcy. That left a lot of demand from other users that would really like to get into the Lebanon market in that particular area of town where all the bulk of the retail's right over there. So that got us thinking more about trying to get some more development stuff going. So then we've got that 2 acres over there next to Ashley Furniture that does require additional infrastructure work, possible retaining wall, depending on how we design the building, what we've got to squeeze in there. So that's when we decided to go ahead and start having discussions about extending the CID, since we're looking to do some other projects, hopefully in the future, instead of having to constantly keep coming back for every little thing. Just go ahead and get it extended out, get it put in place. And like Rob said, once we're reimbursed, it extinguishes itself. And then that allows us to start entering into negotiations, knowing that we can make the economics of these potential future deals work.
So can you give us a breakdown of the last 11 years and how much money you've collected, how much money you've expended? Because at this point, the sales tax in your district is 9.4%. I paid it last night when I ate at Tokyo Sushi. So I actually did a little bit of double take on the bill at 9.4%. That's heavy, but I wasn't buying anything at Harbor Freight or Tractor Supply. And I can't imagine how much that is. So it's a very significant amount of taxes that you're asking us to impose over 27 years. So how much have you collected and what have we gotten for it thus far?
Well, I don't
Sure,
have.
I can.
I was gonna say, I don't have all the information in front of you. I'd have to go back and get all that information. Happy to provide it to you, but you have to understand, and I'm sure your city can explain this as well, especially your public works department, but the cost of everything has gone up drastically. And in order to make the economics of new construction work and to get these different tenants that are only going to pay so much rent in certain markets, you know, that what you're getting at the end of the day is you're getting jobs. If you saw what that center looked like before we bought it, it was rough. It was a nightclub. It was run down. We brought economic growth and development into the city of Lebanon there. We brought national tenants. We brought jobs. We brought sales tax revenue. We brought more assessed value for the school district. So it's not just a single focused thing that we're providing. We're providing a lot of stuff here. And you also have to realize, you know, there's I'm trying to think of the term that they use in the industry, but essentially you're also siphoning off dollars from other adjacent communities around you. And, you know, that's kind of like the big argument in the Springfield area. If Springfield has all the stuff, then they're siphoning off all the dollars from Republic, Nixon, Ozark, and Rogersville and Stratford. And so we've done other taxing districts to help make the economics of these things work. And if you look at most of your other growth areas and places people take vacations and stuff, most of those areas are in taxing districts. You just don't know it. If you go to a St. Louis Cardinals game, there's multiple taxing districts. If you go to City of Branson, the entire city of Branson along the strip is all in the taxing district. It's just, unfortunately, you know, this is the world we live in. Most of your developments, most of your very successful developments are in some sort of taxing district. And at the end of the day, nobody's forcing anybody to go there. And the argument we make every time, and the proof's in the pudding, if people don't want it, they don't have to go there. But they want these amenities, they want these options, and to ask them to pay an additional 1 cent sales tax, they can drive up to Lake of the Ozarks and get it, or they can have it in their own community. You're not really saving much by the time you spend the gas tax, wear and tear, your time, and all that other stuff.
I
And I can provide a little detail on some of the background. At present, and this is, I'm using rough numbers, but we believe, based on the last budget submitted by the CID to the city, that it's generating about $40,000 in sales tax a year. That it's being additional sales tax that's being collected by the district and used to pay for some of the infrastructure and remediation of blight that has been funded with the CID so far. About $1 million worth of costs were certified in connection with the original project, and to date, about 600,000 of that has been reimbursed. Has been paid for. Otherwise, that's just been carried on the developer's books, and it's slowly being chipped away. As a result of to echo what Curtis was just saying, as a result of the new investments going into this development, they're looking to expand that taxing base, basically double it. That they're anticipating about twice the sales tax with the addition of the Ashley Furniture parcel, and then all the new economic activity expected to be generated from this site upon the completion of the expansion and this new infrastructure work.
Well,
And Rob,
that's what I needed
Yep.
to know. I mean, that's the
Yep.
number I
Yep.
needed to know. It just, you know, when you're asking basically for a quarter century of supplement to your risk is really what it comes down to. Because I think every business involves risk, and, you know, we have to look around at the other people that are outside this district and say, we're not gonna supplement your risk, but we are gonna supplement these people's risk here. And so to me, I have to have a rationale for that, and you're giving it. I get it, so thanks.
And just as a point of clarity too, we anticipate that we're asking for the 27 years. That's in part just because that's what the statute provides. But we anticipate, based on our revenue projection numbers, and this is in one of the exhibits to the CID petition, that we think that the costs are going to be reimbursed in full, and the CID would collapse in 2042. So that would be, math is hard for lawyers, but what, about 17 years or so from now?
10 years early.
Rather than, so still certainly an extended period of time, but not significantly shorter than the full amount. And I can assure you that Mr. Jared would like that to be paid off as quick as possible. He'd love to get this off his books.
Sure.
And something else that I think is important for everybody to understand, a lot of companies are using AI. They're using a lot of the backroom software that's run on a lot of iPhones. And so there's a company called Placer AI, and they look where all the traffic's going. And as you continue to grow and expand in your own community, and you siphon off more and more of that traffic off 44 in your adjacent communities, that starts to increase that traffic count that then gets on other retailers' radar, which is what's been happening. And that will continue to grow as you continue to build out more and more of this. We're seeing that in other developments where we've done similar development. Actually, we're doing it out in West Springfield right now with the Target development. Same thing there. It's just now that you've got more and more of your big box stores, your junior anchors and everything else, now it's a race to the finish line to fill in any last available spaces. And that's essentially what will eventually happen.
Do we have any idea of what potential businesses are going to come in out there?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Do you have any idea what potential businesses are wanting to come in out there?
I do, but unfortunately, I'm not allowed to disclose until we officially have everything wrapped up. It just, we can't, part of the agreement is we sign NDAs until they have a signed solid deal. They don't want people knowing if they're going to come, because if plans change, the economy changes, they change their plans. And that does happen quite frequently.
Any other questions, council? As we're in public hearing, any public comments regarding Southdale Center? All right, unless you guys want to hang around, you're more than welcome to get off the Zoom, I guess, now, but thanks Curtis and Rob. Appreciate it.
Pleasure. Thanks for the chance to be here.
Thank you.
One thing I want to chime in, the people we are talking to are pretty exciting tents. I think you would be very happy to have if they do materialize, assuming we make everything work here.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Have a nice evening.
No more hamburgers. No more hamburgers.
We're just talking about an additional 1%, right?
That's it.
Yes. I think that's the maximum the CID can do.
I think one,
It's just interesting. It's just interesting that in the last 11 years, what has it done? That's the big question.
Cleaned the place up tremendously.
They're asking for 27 extra years. Is it feasible to say you can have X? Or is it a all or none?
You have the flexibility. They're just asking for the state authorized maximum, so you don't have to come back. To their point, once the debt paid off, it has to collapse under state law. So this gives them essentially a 10-year cushion on their current projections. So if they meet their target, the thing ends in 2042. If it doesn't, they can go up to 2052 to recoup their costs. But you can set a number. You can set it any length of time.
Most
And the
important.
proposal, just to get down to the number, is what, $2 million? Is that what they're saying? Is they're gonna invest $2 million in round terms?
Yeah. 1.8, I think you said.
Yeah. Let's just,
Yeah.
kind of give it.
That's $200,000. That's 3 years of payment on that.
Do you know if Tractor Supply is part of that? I know at one point it was, Sutherland's wasn't in there.
I think they are now. I think
They are
that
now.
whole entire, except for where the furniture place is. There's a map.
Can't see it very well there.
Yeah,
There he is. He
that
knows.
map's showing it right there, the green, and then there's yellow up there is what they're talking about.
Yep,
There's
yep.
green?
Yes. So, yeah, so picking up Ashley Furniture, which was not in the original footprint. Previously, it was the FFO Home Store. And then what was the question about Tractor Supply? Yes, yes, everything over there, minus the only thing not currently in it is the Ashley Furniture.
It
Okay.
actually goes across the street, because I paid it last night and the other.
Well, that's that is actually a separate CID.
Okay.
Different developer has one as well over there.
It just, yeah, Southdale, or what's it
So
called?
there, both of them
Southdale
are,
Center.
there's both Lebanon marketplaces. One is Southdale Center, one is the other, just separate Lebanon marketplace. That's where like Dollar Tree and Hibbett Sports and that sort of, those other businesses are, but separate developer, two different entities. Yes, sir.
The one that's fenced in right now that they're under construction, that's not anything else.
That's not part of them?
Completely different deal.
Okay.
This is the South Dales, the old Walmart, the whole strip mall, and then the furniture store. This is what that's.
They're talking about the furniture store.
Yes, sir, correct.
They did improvements.
And then you can see some of the build out up front by the old ATM. That's part of that as well. Also, there's some land where there's currently some storage units, storage barns that you can purchase. That also is part, could potentially be a build out as well.
We're not sure what's going in until
Nothing, no, not, that's been officially announced that he can
Right,
broadcast yet, so.
thank you. I could ask that quite a bit.
Should just say parking lot improvement, make it better.
Something, the correct answer is something,
There's
somebody's
There's a
building.
million right there.
Because Randy Seaver.
Dart's turning, so that's good signs, so.
Just for my own edification, because I didn't know, are these the only two CIDs in the,
I'm trying to.
We actually, no, so there's actually, the roundabout area is a CID as well, and also Elm Street. So we actually have 4 in town.
okay.
And they are obviously, like anything else, utilized tool by developers,
The furniture store.
that they
Okay.
see as, it's kind of like anything else. I always use the analogy, the first $1 million baseball player, and then from that point forward, domino dropped and it almost became an incentive that was almost, in a lot of cases, almost necessary in a roundabout way to stay competitive because other towns are doing it as well, so.
All right, thanks, Brian, appreciate it.
Now that does include.
We'll move on to the second thing on the public hearing, is final plat, replat of lot 1 in the East Hall,
Because it's that
half of lot 2
concrete area.
in block 3 of Hughes Edition. Christina?
That's the next one.
Better known as 872 East Street.
That's
it was.
right. Evening, Mayor and council members. It's the final plat, replat of Lot 1 and east half of Lot 2, and the vacate of the abandoned St. Louis and San Francisco Railroad. About 30 feet of that, a vacate of that. So it's looking to rezone, or it's zoned in RS2. So it's just a final plat of combining, I got to see the map, sorry. I don't know if you can see it up there, can you? So it's the Lot 1A and Lot 2A, and then that vacate to be part of 1A. And that's what we're looking at doing tonight. There'll be a small residential home built there.
Where's that street at?
Where's what?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Behind Boswell,
oh, okay.
on the other side of the river.
Thank you.
Any other comments on that? Is there a public hearing? Any comments regarding that? Final replat? Final plat, sorry, not a replat, final plat.
Plat.
All right, we'll move on to the next one, the final plat of Bulmore Lanes, Route 66 subdivision.
So this one is, again, the final plat of Bulmer Lanes. It's combining 2 lots to 1. And what's going to go in there is a miniature golf addition. And that's at 1333 East Route 66. Yes.
I thought that was already in. I thought they already opened.
Any questions, council, on that?
Join in the lot stuff.
Okay, so we're in public hearing. Any public comments regarding final plat of Bulmore Lanes? Okay, move on to the proposed sewer rate adjustment.
Yeah, Mayor Council,
Thank you.
Mayor Council, we had a cost of service study completed on the wastewater, well, all 3 of our utilities, but the wastewater specifically, and they recommended rate adjustments over the next 3 years. The 2026 rate would move our fixed fee from $221 to $27.20 on residential customers, and then the usage rate would be moved from $213 per thousand to $241 per thousand for the first 7,000 gallons, and then it escalates after that from $512 to $587 for the next basically 15,000 or I'm sorry, 18,000 gallons, and then after anything over 25,000 gallons, it goes from $674 to $774. What this means is your average residential customer would see a $3.39 a month adjustment to their sewer bill. On the commercial side of things, those that are using a 1-inch meter or greater, their fixed fee would go from $45.69 to $50.69, and then it would fall in line pretty much the same as the unit costs as the residential.
What was the commercial per dollar rate increase?
It's all based upon what a commercial they use. I mean, so that they don't see a $5 fixed fee per month, and then whatever they use as far as consumption, it'll depend.
Yeah, as a 1-inch line.
As was mentioned by the developer, cost has gone tremendously up on our materials. Well, on the electric side, yeah, I don't know where it's going to stop as far as material cost.
I don't think it's going to.
The Board of Public Works reviewed this and had the presentation submitted to them by the consultant that done the cost of service study, and they approved the adjustments of this rate adjustment. And it's embedded in the budget. Have any questions?
Richard, what do we pay for those reviews? I'm getting all those.
So on the sewer side, I think, it seemed to me like on the sewer and water side, it was about around 14,000 between the two of them, and then on the electric side, it was a little more. So I think between the three utilities, we paid around $32,000 for those reviews, and generally we try to get 5 years out of them, but depends on how volatile the economy is and material cost.
I think we did, the last one was in 21 or 2?
Yeah, we done the last one, it was in like 2020, I believe, 2019. We implemented in 2020 as in 2019 when we done it. So.
Forgive my ignorance, but solar avoided cost.
So basically what that is the credit that a net metering customer would receive for energy that they would produce over what they use. They get credited our cost on fuel cost, not our asset cost, but just fuel cost. And then that rolls over, they can bank 12 months of them, and then the 13th month falls off the back.
When do we anticipate this going into?
This is in the 2026 budget. These adjustments are.
Okay.
July 1.
July 1 of
Yeah,
this year.
July 1, yeah.
Okay.
All right, as we're in a public hearing, any public comments regarding the proposed sewer rate adjustments? So nobody come forward, we'll, public hearing on the fiscal year 2026 budget.
Mayor, as presented in the last couple of meetings, the proposed budget totals about $73.4 million, with the revisions that were presented earlier tonight, about a 4.3% increase from last year's budget. Happy to answer any questions. Provides for salary adjustments primarily in public safety across the organization, health benefits, and some additional dollars for capital improvements, sales tax, stormwater, parks, those funds in particular. It does incorporate the utility fee increases that have been recommended by the Board of Public Works. So any questions, we're happy to answer them, and we would look for approval of the budget at the meeting on the 26th, if I followed my 23rd, thank you. Somebody's good at my calendar. So that would be kind of a process. So we stand for, happy to answer any questions, and again, if the public has any questions, feel free to reach out, and we're happy to answer them.
Any comments, questions, council? Right now? So we're public hearing, any public comments on the budget? Okay, I'll now entertain a motion to come out of public hearing. So moved.
Second.
Jordan moved, Evans seconded, I believe it was. Is that right?
Yes.
Roll call, please.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Mizell.
Yes.
Muchler.
Yes.
Wall. Jordan.
Yes.
Garner. Atkins.
Yes.
Evans.
Yes.
Okay, now at public hearing and on to first and second readings, Council Bill 6854. This is on the final plat and replat of Lot 1, East Half of Lot 2, and Block 3 of Hughes Edition.
Hang on, I just messed it up here.
Any questions on that, council?
Yeah. Any questions?
Anything changed? Anything changed? Christine, I guess-
Nothing's changed.
First reading, please.
An ordinance by the City Council of Lebanon, Missouri approving the final plat of replat of Lot 1 and the east half of Lot 2 and Block 3 of Hughes Edition to the City of Lebanon, Laclede County, Missouri.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mitchell and Mizell. Roll call, please.
Mizell.
Yes.
Muchler.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
Garner.
Yes.
Atkins.
Yes.
Evans.
Yes.
Mitchell.
Yes.
Second reading, please.
An ordinance by the City Council of Lebanon, Missouri approving the final plat of replat of Lot 1 and the east half of Lot 2 and Block 3 of Hughes Edition to the City of Lebanon, Laclede County, Missouri.
Who on second?
Second.
Jordan and Evans on the second. Roll call, please.
Muchler.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
Garner.
Yes.
Atkins.
Yes.
Evans.
Yes.
Mitchell.
Yes.
Mizell.
Yes.
Okay, Council Bill 6854 becomes ordinance 7096. Council Bill 6855. This is on the final plat of the Bowmore Lanes. Any
No
late breaking
changes.
news or
No,
changes?
no, unless you have a question.
Any questions, council? All right, first reading, please.
An ordinance by the City Council of Lebanon, Missouri approving the final plat of Bullmore Lanes, Route 66 subdivision to the City of Lebanon, Laclede County, Missouri.
Second.
Wall and Mizell. Roll call, please.
Wall.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
Garner.
Yes.
Atkins.
Yes.
Evans.
Yes.
Mitchell.
Yes.
Mizell.
Yes.
Muchler.
Yes. Okay, second reading, please.
An ordinance by the City Council of Lebanon, Missouri approving the final plat of Bullmore Lanes, Route 66 subdivision to the City of Lebanon, Laclede County, Missouri.
Who on second? Second. Jordan and Muchler on the second. Roll call, please.
Jordan.
Yes.
Garner.
Yes.
Atkins.
Yes.
Evans.
Yes.
Mitchell.
Yes.
Mizell. Muchler.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes. Okay, Council Bill 6855 comes ordinance 7097. And Council Bill 6856, and this is for the Southdale Center Community Improvement District. Any questions regarding that? Council? Brian, anything you can add?
I mean, just in the, as far as the developer, been a good partner in bringing, obviously, some national and even local business opportunities. Beyond even the CID, they have had a hand in helping bring other retail and business operations to town, so not to, just add that to the mix. I do think hopefully this type of investment will make them more, continue to be aggressive to seek other opportunities, so. My final thoughts.
First reading, please.
An ordinance by the City Council of Lebanon, Missouri approving an amended petition with respect to the Southdale Center Community Improvement District, extending the term of the district for 27 years from the effective date of this ordinance, adding additional land to the district, and directing the city clerk to notify the Missouri Department of Economic Development of the amendments.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mizell and Muchler. Roll call, please.
Garner.
Yes.
Atkins.
Yep.
Evans.
Yes.
Mitchell.
Yes.
Mizell.
Yes.
Muchler.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes. Second reading, please.
An ordinance by the City Council of Lebanon, Missouri, approving an amended petition with respect to the Southdale Center Community Improvement District, extending the term of the district for 27 years from the effective date of this ordinance, adding additional land to the district, and directing the city clerk to notify the Missouri Department of Economic Development of the amendments.
Move on the second.
Second. Evans and Wall on the second. Roll call, please.
Atkins,
Yes.
Evans.
Yes.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Mizell,
Yes.
Muchler.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
Garner.
Yes.
And Council Bill 6856 becomes ordinance 7098. Thank you, Brian, appreciate it. Council Bill 6857.
Mr. Mayor and members of the council, this is an development agreement with 3BE Holdings. They are the developer of the Arrow Landing project. What it does is provide 50% break on building permit fees and a 50% discount on utility connection fees, and will charge them infrastructure development costs at $225 a linear foot. These are pretty much the standard development agreement terms of the last couple of projects. They have reached out asking that this be approved so that they could start to move forward with it. We'll see how fast they're willing, but I told them we would not be an impediment to their development. This is the project, I'm trying to remember how many, the 100 units, it's up to 242 lots of development off of 5 there on the south side of town. So this is just the standard boilerplate agreement, so.
Any questions regarding that, Council? First reading, please.
An ordinance by the City Council of Lebanon, Missouri, approving an agreement with 3BE Holdings LLC to waive a portion of permit fees, utility connection fees, and infrastructure costs for the Arrow Landing development.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mitchell and Mizell. Roll call, please.
Evans,
Yes.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Mizell,
Yes.
Muchler,
Yes.
Wall,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
Garner, Atkins.
Yes.
Second reading, please.
An ordinance by the City Council of Lebanon, Missouri, approving an agreement with 3BE Holdings LLC to waive a portion of permit fees, utility connection fees, and infrastructure costs for the Arrow Landing development.
Move on second. Second. Jordan and Muchler on the second. Roll call, please.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Mizell,
Yes.
Muchler,
Yes.
Wall,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
Garner, Atkins.
Yes.
Evans.
Yes.
Council Bill 6857 becomes ordinance 7099. It's all for our first and second readings. On the first readings, first reading of Council Bill 6858. Sean, anything you want to add to that? You don't have to.
Nothing to add unless there are further questions.
Any questions, council, regarding the budget? Of course, you're gonna have 2 weeks for final approval would be there, and you'll be able to amend it or anything that comes up in the near term on that as well, so. Okay, well, with that, we'll do first reading then, please.
An ordinance by the City Council of Lebanon, Missouri, adopting the fiscal year 2026 budget for the period beginning July 1st, 2025, and ending June 30th, 2026, and the capital improvement plan 2026 through 2030.
Motion to approve. Second. Wall and Muchler, roll call, please.
Mizell,
Yes.
Muchler,
Yes.
Wall,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
Garner, Atkins,
Abstain.
Evans,
Yes.
Mitchell.
I'm gonna abstain too.
Is there any reason I asked that?
Because I don't like to vote, we just were handed this. I don't like to vote on anything I haven't had a chance to look through, and since they're together, I'm gonna abstain.
Okay. All right, Council Bill 6858 passed first reading, will be placed on the docket for the next council meeting, June 23rd. Council Bill 6859, first reading on that. And this is in regards to the stormwater amendment.
Here.
Any questions on that, council? All right, first reading, please.
An ordinance by the City Council of Lebanon, Missouri, amending the City Code of Ordinances by repealing Chapter 16, Environment, Article 3, Erosion and Sediment Control in its entirety, and enacting in lieu thereof a newly created Article 3, Erosion and Sediment Control, Article 4, Illicit Discharges, and Article 5, Maintenance of Permanent Stormwater Controls.
Motion approved.
Second.
Jordan and Mizell. Roll call, please.
Muchler,
Yes.
Wall,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
Garner, Atkins,
Yes.
Evans,
Yes.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Mizell.
Yes.
Okay, Council Bill 6859 passes first reading, will be placed on the docket June 23rd for second reading. That does it for ordinances tonight. Any comments from staff in the audience? Chief, anything?
Our, Mayor, I'd just comment that our community was rocked pretty hard by the traumatic event that happened last Thursday night. And that I just want to report to the council, that investigation is progressing. It's progressing slowly because complicated and very important investigations always will. And that it should progress slowly, because in these scenarios, justice is exceedingly important, and because of the design of our justice system, we get one opportunity at that. And I am not going to waste that opportunity, and my team will not. And it was a pretty hard hit for us. It's a very hard hit for the family in our community. And I just want everybody to know that we are doing everything that we can. All the things that you expect to be happening are happening behind the scenes. Can't really talk about it, wouldn't be appropriate at this time. And these things just don't wrap up quickly like they do on television. So I appreciate our community understanding that. Support the family, support the neighbors, and don't take your loved ones for granted.
Thank you, Chief. Chief Simon?
Just a couple of things in reference to the incident that the police chief spoke about. I will tell you that it was refreshing to see the police department working with the fire department. We did provide some support services out there that evening, and have always been there for them and will continue to be in any way we can. So that was refreshing for me to see in our community. On a lighter note, as I alluded to earlier, our brush truck did arrive on Friday. That's a project we've been waiting on for several months, and that truck will be in service in the next week or so, if not sooner. So,
Where will that be housed at?
Station 3.
Thanks, Chief. Richard?
Just reiterate what Councilman Jordan said. We got that 4th Street intersection completed. I've been pretty pleasantly on the stormwater conveyance system, and detentions through all these rains was performed quite well. We haven't had a whole lot of flooding. We have a handful isolated locations that we're working with property owners and stuff with, but no damages or anything like that, so.
Thank you.
Well, the pool got off to an opening start, but it was cold, rainy, and has been every day since, I think. But we're doing okay. We did not open the first day, unfortunately, that the pool was available to open. We've had a long-standing rule that the weather temperature had to be 75 degrees and the water temperature had to be 70. That morning at 9 o'clock, it was 67 and 64. There was no way I was going to open that water. I'm sorry that the community didn't like it in some places, but safety of our kids is more important. We had 2 lifeguards work Thursday. We did in-service and pool training and stuff that we do every year. I sent 2 guards home Thursday afternoon because they were shaking so uncontrollable, even with towels and blankets on inside the guard stand, that I thought they needed to go home. So there was no way I was open on Friday. I'll take the hit. Other than that, it's been open every other day we could, which hasn't been a lot, but we're doing the best we can. And then Richards, 4th Street, from somebody that turns there every day, 5 days a week to go to school. It's awesome.
It's tradition, you know, for the Parks Director to jump off the board the first day. How did that go?
I think we need to bring that back.
okay. I'll jump in right after the mayor.
I have a 100-foot platform that would even be better than that.
I might do that. That sounds fun. I might try that one.
I bet you won't.
Oh, I jumped off pretty
I
high.
bet you won't. You get up there, it won't.
I know it is.
That's a long ways.
I just want to do a quick note of appreciation to staff, especially in our utilities front desk right here at City Hall. We went live with our new utility billing system on June 3rd. Some of you might have gotten some calls or complaints about just anytime change happens, people are impacted. Staff have been trying to resolve it. There's just not enough of them to go around, but they have a great resilience in working through some of these injuries. The young lady right to my left worked with a probably 90-something young lady who had come in without any information, and she walked him through to get her hooked up into the system. She was even offered a tip, a $20 tip, and she turned it down. So, but the staff has done a yeoman's work on that. I think Jared's not here. I think we were out at the Hughes Center today, and I think we signed up 38 people right there at the Hughes Center. We will be at the Wallace Building tomorrow for people to come in. We have postponed shut-offs and are not having any late fees during this time because we recognize it's a process. So tell them to keep going. If they can't get a hold of us, feel free to forward their note. We'll reach out to them and try to deal with them if they're particularly frustrated. But this will probably go on through the month of June until we can get everybody re-enrolled in the system. So, but again, I think by and large, the system's working as it wanted to. It's just whenever you ask the public to provide new information, people will get frustrated. And so we appreciate their patience. And again, staff have just been exceptional. So I wanted to take a moment to note that.
Good, thank you. Let's start with Atkins.
Lot going on in the community, and you can see it. Always, I went to the festival Friday night or Saturday when it was, man, it was jam-packed. That's a great idea, and I think things are going pretty good right now in the community, with the exception of this, and I know you're working very hard on that, and people are concerned about it. They've approached me many times on it, only for the fact that not anybody doing a bad job or anything, they just hate to see that happen in our community, and so do we. So I know you're working hard on it, Chief.
Evans?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Mitchell?
I might comment to what Mr. Shirley was just, I found out the link that got posted by the city on Facebook would say the system's not working. But if you tried to enter off of just your web browser, you could do it just fine. I don't know what the problem was with the link, but so just a FYI, if anybody mentions.
We got that fixed, but you're right, that was one of the quick ones. They couldn't attach it to the Facebook link. I think, Derek,
Just
did we
stay
ever
off
figure out what
Facebook.
that reason was?
That's it for me. Thank you, Mayor.
Myself?
No, thank you.
Nothing, Mayor. Mitchell, anything? No. Jordan?
Just a comment. On the way out, we started out a little early. We came by the old Briscoe Park. There was about 20 little guys and gals about this big out there, parents playing ball, learning how, loving it. Went out, got gas. Nelson was full, parking lot was full. And came back by another park. Oh, Gasconade. They was having vacation Bible school out there. So our parks are being used. There are people everywhere, and this weather brought them out today, so glad to see that too. Good job.
I just want to thank Sarah and Rebecca and Hughes, the things that's been going on downtown, Route 66, and you guys are just awesome. You're going above and beyond. Downtown there was incredible for the second year, and youth is a big part of that. And how you get that food ready and prepared and served is incredible. But you guys have done yeoman's work. And Chief, I know that there's a tragedy, I know things are going on, but my understanding too, had it not been for your staff, that little boy wouldn't be alive. So, appreciate all that you did there, and continue to do.
Thank you, Mr. Garner. A couple things, next two meetings is June 23rd and July 14th. So yeah, half over June 23rd and July 14th will be the next two meetings there. Yeah, to echo some of the comments that council and staff made, the Route 66 festival this weekend was really awesome, even though the weather was like almost horrible right up until it started, right in the parade. I mean, it looked like it was gonna downpour right on the parade. And as soon as we took off, I woke up, or I got home, I guess, Saturday afternoon, and I was absolutely lobstered. I was the color of your shirt, Mr. Jordan, on the top of my head, because I have no hair to protect me, so, but it went away, kind of. But nonetheless, and wasn't expecting that, but a great crowd out there, and I did not make it back. My honeydew list was too long. I did not make it back to the concert, but I heard it was great. Sister Hazel, I think, performed, and what was that name?
The Nautical Brothers.
Yeah, the Nautical Brothers, and I heard they were.
Should said thank you to you for that, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, for
that's all right.
participating in that.
No, that was great. It was Grand Marshal of the parade. That was a lot of fun, so.
Did you get to ride the chase?
Yeah, then I was down in the chase. Got arrested by Buford, I don't know.
Buford Teen Justice.
Yeah, Buford Teen Justice. Yeah, Buford Teen Justice. I got arrested by him on Saturday afternoon, but it was a good time, and Burt Reynolds was there to save the day, so. And it was a lot of fun to participate in that, and understand they're coming back next year, so, you know, you gotta make it better than last year, so I'm sure it'll be even better next year, so.
There was some really good demonstrations by Summit Taekwondo, couldn't think of the word, demonstrations.
Yeah.
Jonathan brought a bunch of kids, it was good.
He asked me if I wanted to hang from his bar, and I said, I don't really want to embarrass myself twice in a day. Once when it was such a low tide, once when I broke my ankle and I fell off of it or something like that. But yeah, the Route 66 Festival was great, really was, and First Friday was downtown as well last weekend, if you missed that. That was a great event as well. Every place down there was packed, the streets were packed. It was a little bit less than last month, but I think there again, the weather, it just kind of worked out right up until 4 o'clock, right about when it started. I mean, it was bad weather, and then all of a sudden it turned out okay, and so so I'm sure other people made other plans and that kind of thing as well. But those events, and that kind of brings community to light, and really brings why I'm doing what I'm doing here. And then you have tragic events like Thursday night that happened, and I think it brings even more community out, and you get to see how much people support each other as much as possible in this community, and it says a lot. That's pretty awesome to live in Lebanon. So, with that, I will entertain a motion to go into closed session. Pursuant to 610-021 for real estate. That's fine. Jordan moved. Evans seconded. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we're now in closed session.